Fat loss for older adults, trade-offs and compromises. In this video, I want to detail some ideas that I've had over the years as a former weight loss coach and someone who's maintained 100-pound weight loss on some ideas around the lifestyle problems that some older adults may have regarding having a body transformation go successfully and how to get out of the start and stop cycle that many of them face even to this day. Even with all the information that's available to us and some information that you'll get in this video, I wanted to help you think of trying to make a change differently through building a good weekly system of habits that are going to help you sustainably, and how to have the good values that go along with that. Values for health, values for your body, your health, all these different things. Did I say health twice? Anyways, so most fat loss advice for folks out there revolves around tracking many targets all at once. Your calories, your protein, steps, your daily weight averages, etc. This is not bad advice in itself. In fact, it's very good advice, especially for someone that has the willingness and the time to do these various tracking measures. However, someone with decades of starting and stopping of trying to maintain a transformation like this, it's not really new information to them, given information is largely a commodity nowadays, but it's further confirming that they can't do this thing. They've probably tried it before. In fact, I know a few of my family members that have tried this, that have come to me for advice, have found the endeavor of calorie tracking and trying to make nutrition habits stick at their old age to be quite difficult. And so the ask of doing these things are not wrong in and of themselves, like I said, but the size of the ask actually is. So I want to use my decade of maintaining this 100-pound weight loss as a starting point and insight, rather than a lot of information to give you, and provide you with a massive reframe that small trade-offs and compromises are going to be the answer for you if you are an older adult. And it's not going to be a full lifestyle overhaul that you may think of, that you may see on social media, okay? So number one, let's talk about the difference between trade-offs and compromise and what that relates to weight loss and making a change that you can adhere to. A trade-off is something that you personally give up or shift for a different benefit. For example, you may think of it like doing dessert after dinner as some sort of fruit or a yogurt cup rather than the ice cream that you may be used to. It could look like trading fries for a side salad. There's a lot of weird noises going on. Oh, dude, that's a drone. Oh, that's so cool. Well, anyways, that's going to be going on in the background. A compromise, however, is a negotiated adjustment involving someone else, most often a spouse, where both people's needs need to stay partially met. And this is very true for a lot of older adults, because you're not just changing by yourself, you're changing with people, and you're witnessing other people observe your change. They're having comments about it. They are with you, right? And so a compromise is a negotiated adjustment involving someone else, most often a spouse, where both people's needs need to stay partially met. And so why this matters for you, and why this could matter if you're an older adult watching this, is decades-long marriages have deeply built-in shared food rituals, okay? We connect in three different ways with food. We connect with it by having a resource of energy to help us go on, because we need to eat to stay alive. That's one way we connect with it. Another way is that we are, like I said before, we share in connection with others. We have food together in dinner times, when we wake up, wherever is most pertinent to you. God, I'm sweating. Shit. I went on a walk before this. And the other way is through pleasure, okay? And that's very common nowadays, especially in the first world, especially in America. We have the whole culture around, hitting the wall when we go out to restaurants, or just baking a lot of goods, baking treats, desserts, all that good stuff. We love to treat food as a pastime now rather than a source of energy. And when we think of it that way, that's probably very true for you. It was true for me for a long time. It's how I used to cope with a lot of just boredom and feelings that I had as a teenager, just being lonely and shy and all the time. I may not have had a girlfriend or a lot of friends when I was moving schools, but hey, I had Call of Duty and a canister of icing. And that's how I got in the shape that I did. So a unilateral trade-off that you may make inside a shared ritual creates friction, or it gets sabotaged somehow, intentional or unintentional. It's these little things where I want to believe that most people's spouses, when someone's trying to go through a change, their spouse wants to support them, but the spouse may not be 100% on board on them making a change, and thus they might find different ways to, influence, or just find different ways to like, well, I kind of want this. And then the person trying to make a change is like, well, shit, I'm kind of alone in this. But maybe I should just, go along with what they got and just forget about my goals and all that. And I'll just put it away for another time, right? The myth of someday. So here's the system that I got for you. I want you to identify which changes are going to be solo trade-offs for you that you can just make by yourself, and which shared rituals that need an actual conversation or compromise involved with it. So again, like I said, you're not going to be changing within a vacuum. Although I want you to be someone that values your health and your body, it is important to value the others around you as you go through this change, and just to be cognizant of that. Is it totally fair? No, but I don't focus on things that are unfair. I just focus on really what I can do to get myself further to a goal. Okay, something I'm going through right now personally is, trying to make the requisite changes of meeting a partner for life, and trying to find ways that I can go meet women and just to have things happen organically, because the dating apps at this point in time are really just a shit show. I'm just really not about them. I quit dating apps about 2 years ago, and I've just been single since then, but I've really not made an effort in doing anything, and that's a whole other topic. But there's a lot of trade-offs that I need to make in my own personal life if I want to reach that goal of having someone to have a partner for life with, right? So the next topic here is overcoming decades of poor habits, okay? My weight loss was, poor eating habits more specifically. So my weight loss was successfully done ultimately because I did not have many ingrained habits or mental hangups that were stopping me, okay? I lost my weight when I was 16. From the ages of 16 to 18, over a 2-year span, I used the ketogenic diet plus walking to simply just do that. I didn't know, I was gradually learning about calories and macronutrients and all that, of course, but I didn't have any mental hangups of, oh man, this is my comfort food, this is this pleasure food, oh, this is just how I am, I can't do this. The pain for me was like looking in the mirror and just seeing 2 pairs of man tits, okay? And then just having a shower and just, being exposed to my body, looking at myself in the mirror, comparing myself to other kids around me that, were not as heavy as I was. I felt not really socially ousted because people were nice to me in high school, especially the school that I moved to and all that. But I just felt, that it's just like, I know that I'm not attractive. I know it. I understand. I just don't feel attractive. And that's often one of the main motivators when we point to when we're trying to make some sort of transformation for our bodies is, I just want to look good. I just want to look better. I just want to feel good. And that was certainly the case for me. That was certainly a motivator that I used just to keep me going the whole time. I wasn't really thinking about, oh, I'm valuing my body. I'm having such a good time doing this. It's like, no, man, I had lunches where I was hungry, just eating that shitty ass chicken salad at school and not having Bosco sticks, these little cheese sticks that you could dip the marinara bread in, or dip the marinara in. I was having like turkey and eggs and cheese and bacon for dinner almost every night, or some sort of keto pizza that my parents would help me make. They really helped me out big time, just making all kinds of meals for me. So I have to put a lot of, my success to them helping me out. But someone with 30 to 40 years of the same rituals with eating and being sedentary has deeply worn grooves in your brain and in your nervous system. And more information is not going to override that. So listen, you got access to ChatGPT, to Claude, to all these AI tools. You got access to the internet. You've had access to the internet. And yet, change has not come so easily, right? We have all the information we need. You can go to the library and read so many books on health and weight loss and how to really do this, how to really be a student of your body and a steward of your health. But it's not that simple. And I know that as a coach, I know that as somebody who has gone through this and who has helped coach people in the past, I understand this is all about behavior, how you think about yourself, how you think about your body, your esteem, how you value your body, what you value putting into it, recognizing your coping mechanisms. Do you cope with food? I used to do that shit. I did it even after I lost my weight. But coping with food leads to more calories, and thus if you eat more calories in a day, you stay the same, you don't make progress on your goals. Okay, and I give you some of that tough love to help you understand, I know what it's like. That's a painful experience. It's a painful cycle that just keeps going on and on. You feel like there's no way out. But I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. You have to understand what these small trade-offs and compromises are going to be for your life and slowly make them. We'll get to more of that in a second. So observe what you already do within your day, within your week. Observe your food choices, your current activities, your schedule, maybe your lack of schedule. If you're an older adult who's retired, you may just be having a good old time doing whatever you want to, and that can be an awesome thing, but that can also be a crutch that you lean on as an excuse to not further progress yourself. You may be thinking, well, I've already done what I need to do. I'm just gonna, I had this client one time at a weight loss place that I was working at tell me, every time I'd ask her how she's doing, she's like, fat and sassy. I'm just like, oh, I'm just fat and sassy, honey. I'm just like, okay, well, it sounds like you've further entrenched yourself in that identity, and I want you to think yourself as thin and free rather than fat and sassy. I don't know. Sometimes people just tell themselves things that, it's just, we cope with many ways in life, comedy. That's like a comedic way of dealing with your situation and the current circumstances you're in, but listen, those same things that you tell yourself can be the very same things that just keep you stuck. You know what I'm saying? So shift your language and slowly shift the content of these, your schedule. If you find yourself just noticing, man, I really just do not move a lot. Think of how you can get 10 minutes of movement a day in these different increments to equal 30 minutes of steps broken up into 10-minute increments. That's just a quick example I was thinking of. And so you're not changing everything all at once. That's never the point. That's probably why you've been unsuccessful in the past. And a lot of the advice out there promotes that. It's like, you got to change your calories, your eating habits, your movements, your sleep, your stress. If I told somebody to do all of those all at once, week one, day one, they're like, dude, Jordan, what are you doing to me, man? I can't do any of this yet. So my focus is to focus on one thing at a time, put all our attention into that, make it adherent, make it sticky, make it so it's not going out of your way to do something, and you should be good to go. So the next topic is confronting the limitations of movement and training. So older adults are working with joint wear, past injuries, slower recovery, and a body that is not the same as it was 20 years before. Following a program built for someone with none of those, or none of these constraints will set you up. Well, if you follow something that somebody else is doing, it's going to set you up for failure rather than success, because it's something that they did. It's something they took the time to understand how to do, how to work for themselves, and they made that change adherent to where their current skill set is. So it's the difference between, if I told somebody, I want you to do about 50 push-ups a day, and they can't even do one, that would be a failure on my part, because that's not the level that they're at. And for older adults, I wouldn't even recommend push-ups straight on the ground yet. I would recommend either knee push-ups or wall push-ups or countertop push-ups, but doing them so much and having such a high volume of them that you are getting a good, fatigue ratio in your muscles so they're able to be built. Or I may recommend to them just give me one 30-minute session a week inside of the gym or inside of an apartment gym that you have, not 3 to 4 days. We're just working on 1 day a week so you can get down the skill of moving your body in an intentional manner, that the movements aren't going to be stressed out. You're not going to be sitting in the parking lot saying, I know I need to go in there, but I don't want to go. So the goal for older adults is to find the version of movement that's sustainable for the body that they currently have right now. Like I said before, I don't want you to do body weight squats. I don't want you to do 100 of them. I want you to do chair squats in front of the TV. I want you to do countertop push-ups while you're waiting for something in the microwave. I want you to think about how you can get movement in your day without having to go to a gym. That's what I want for you. And modified ranges or different exercise selection like I've been talking about, especially lower frequency, 1 or 2 days a week to start. Some kind of plan that in your mind you can confidently say, yeah, I can do that. Anytime you think about movement and training, just think about, what are you actually going to do? Not what you should do or what some doctor told you or what somebody on Instagram or TikTok told you. What can you do currently and what are you willing to do? If you're not willing to do anything, then I don't know why you're watching this far into the video. But if you are, you should be doing something. Okay. Lastly, we're going to talk about overcoming the stories that keep you stuck, and this being older adults. Here's some familiar phrases that I've heard over the years coaching this demographic. My metabolism is broken. It's just too late for me anyways. I just like food too much. These are not facts. They are beliefs and stories that protect you, and they protect you from the risk of trying and failing again. I cannot argue you or someone out of a belief like these that I just mentioned with logic alone. They must be overwritten through direct evidence, which is taking actions. So here's the system that I want for you. I want small enough wins that are a bit challenging, repeated consistently until the old story, those things that you told yourself, become obviously false through lived experience rather than debating yourself. This is the story of I know I should do X, but Y keeps getting in the way. It's the equation that I hear over and over. Jordan, I know I should be eating better, but I just don't like a lot of whole healthy foods, but I just don't have the time to do it. But my wife just keeps making things that aren't on plan for me, but anything, right? Everybody's got something. I know you've got something. I know you've probably said one of these yourself. And this is where you got to think about the values portion. So before I've talked about systems, getting time efficient things of making meals fit into what you already eat, good whole healthy foods, for example. If you want to bring home some sort of pizza, whether if it's from Papa John's or Little Caesar, you're going to have the one slice, but you're going to have some sort of chicken breast and some vegetables along with that. It's finding those compromises. If you can't find yourself the willpower to go to the gym, I want you to find some kind of movements that are going to be realistically adhered to at the house with some minimal equipment, something that's going to not feel like you're going out of your way. And slowly this evidence is going to be used to mean something to keep you going, okay? I don't just ask people to do things just to do them and to get some sort of result in the future or right now. I do them to help them build a better way of feeling and seeing themselves, okay? And notice how none of that was about looking good or maybe feeling better, sure, but a lot of the rewards that I have gotten from adhering to the lifestyle that I have, the healthy lifestyle where I, meal plan a lot of foods, where I move a lot with my body day to day, I get a lot of mental and emotional benefits out of doing that. It's outside of looking good. It's outside of hitting some sort of health marker. And I understand as an older adult, you're looking to, take control of your health and take control of your metabolism. That's very good and that's very important. But I would see a successful change happen in your head as better than one that you can make with your body. When you can come to me and confidently say, Jordan, I actually struggled with this at the beginning, but I found a way to make it work. I found a way to make this stick. And I used to think this way, but now I think this. So you could take yourself through an arc of saying, I used to think my metabolism was broken, but I found small ways of having a good meal timing going on in my life. I'm sorry, I'm getting very technical. That's just me talking. I found a way to make it work for my schedule. Now my metabolism works for me. I used to think that it's too late for me anyways, but I found out that I could just make a change in 3 months and I just feel so much better than all the time that I spent being in my head about it. I used to think that I just like food too much and that food and sugar had all this power over me, but I found different foods and different options for me, and I slowly desensitized my mouth to liking sugar. I want that more than like some kind of weight loss you may be looking for. I would respect that more, honestly. That's just me being honest. To close things out here, none of what I discussed here requires overhauling 40 years of life in one run. It requires picking the right trade-off, having the right compromise conversation, and changing your current beliefs with better evidence, like I just touched on previously in the closing monologue. Now, I hope this has helped you tremendously. This is just stuff that I just wanted to start making without any tie to product. I've kind of found out that I don't really want to do coaching anymore, or at least I don't want to put so much work into marketing and sales, but rather I just want to come on here and talk honestly about my experience and the knowledge that I've accrued over the past decade, almost a half at this point, and just give you the raw value that you need in changing your situation. If you got to the end of this video, you've pretty much proven to not just me, but to yourself that you are willing to listen to information, you're willing to listen to insight, and you're willing to listen to the words and language that is related to change, that helps you go forward rather than makes you go back and stay the same. Whenever I'm making videos, I'm trying to inform you, but I'm also trying to motivate you into making some kind of change after you watch the video. That's just who I am as a person. I mean, like I said, all the information's out there, and I want to give you my information, but I want to give you the emotional backbone of it to make it turn into something you can actually implement. So with all that being said, I do appreciate it if you watch this video all the way to the end. And I'll be making more videos like this in this format, so just getting out of nature. Maybe I'll make some videos of me walking and talking just with the topic that I had in mind. And yeah, so thank you again for watching. I'll see you in the next one, okay?